Welcome to Chapter 11, the Therapeutic Relationship. This is Week 4, Chapter 11. Week 4 consists of Chapters 10, 11, and 12. So this here is Chapter 11. I am not going to read through the learning objectives because you're own, but we are going to talk about the dynamics of the therapeutic relationship. Therapeutic relationship is, caregivers use their abundant energies to first balance or stabilize the clients. It's directed energy exchange between two people and a flow that moves clients toward constructive ways of thinking and effective ways of coping. The dynamics of the therapeutic relationship, it's interactions that occur among various forces. There are three dynamics. There's your social relationship, your work relationship, and your therapeutic relationship. Your social relationship, that is a two-way energy exchange. It's having fun together, supporting each other through difficult times, and enjoying each other's company. Oh, sorry, forgot to hit the button there, guys. And then work relationship that has the purpose of achieving certain goals, including dynamics of motivation, performance, and evaluation. And then therapeutic relationship that differs from other relationships. First, your focus of energy is primarily on the client. Second, it is conscientiously directed. Second, it's conscientiously directed. So care providers conscientiously establish a connection with clients to help them cope with their life demands. Dynamic components of the therapeutic relationship include the concepts of trust, empathy, autonomy, caring, and hope. And if you notice in that order, trust, empathy, autonomy, caring, and hope spell teach. T-E-A-C-H. So the 5 dynamic components, like I said, of the therapeutic relationship include trust. They have assured belief that others are capable of assisting in times of distress and will probably do so. Empathy, the ability to walk a mile in another person's shoes. Empathy is the ability to understand the emotions, viewpoints, and situations of another, concentrate on the speaker, and listen objectively without passing judgment. So to go back to trust, though, trust is risk-taking. It is a risk-taking process whereby an individual's situation depends on the future behavior of another person. Without trust, you become isolated and incapable of relying on others. Trust is a very, very important part of any therapeutic relationship. So to develop and establish trust, first, you have to assess the client's ability to trust. Second, you have to be honest. And third, you have to use clear communication. So it is very important. Trust is one of the most important parts of a therapeutic relationship. And then autonomy is the ability to direct and control one's activities and destiny. And people with mental health issues have problems with autonomy, as an illness often results in making inappropriate decisions. Autonomy is encouraged by the caregiver through the use of the concept of mutuality, of sharing with another person. Example is clients who are unable to remember their appointments are reminded. Mutuality helps clients and care providers meet their goals. Caring. Caring is energy that allows caregivers to unconditionally accept all people, even when they are most unlovable. Caring can tell when someone is sincere, communicates concern, sensitivity, and compassion. And then hope. Hope is it can have a powerful effect on clients' outcomes. It's easier to have hope if one's environment is stable. Hope is the expectation of achieving a future good. It consists of 6 dimensions: affective, affiliative, behavioral, cognitive, temporal, and contextual. So the affective is the emotional aspect of hope. Affiliative includes spirituality, how hope is related or interwoven. Behavioral consists of actions or behaviors that may make the hoped for situations come true. Cognitive is a thinking area, acts associated with problem solving. Temporal is experience as it relates to hope, and contextual is one's personal life situation as it relates to hope. So for hope to be achievable, it must be realistic, possible, and personally significant. So the one thing I do want you to remember, I want you to remember the acronym TEACH: trust, empathy, autonomy, caring, and hope. Acceptance. Characteristics of a therapeutic relationship. Acceptance is to receive what is being offered. Remember that it is the person who must be accepted, not the behaviors or the attitude. Acceptance is of prime importance for people with mental emotional problems. If a client feels accepted, treatment strategies will be more effective. Rapport is the ability to establish a meaningful connection with clients. It's developed through a concern for others and an active interest in the well-being of one's client. Essential for developing rapport is a belief in the worth and dignity of each individual. They also need an accepting attitude. So remember, we do not have to accept the behavior or the attitudes, but we have to remember we have to accept the person. And then genuineness. Genuineness is to be open, honest, and sincere in the relationship. While being genuine, remember that the client is the primary focus, and the goal of the therapeutic relationship is to move the client towards wellness. So we always want to work to establish meaningful connections with our clients. Oh, I forgot to hit the button to bring the rest of the slide up there, guys. And also, therapeutic use of self. The most therapeutic tool of any care provider is the self. Caregivers are role models for health and coping. Our behaviors set examples for successful actions. Caregivers direct themselves therapeutically by focusing energies on the client. And skills in using self. Feel good about yourself and develop an awareness of how your actions, gestures, and expressions affect other people. Remember, you can't be therapeutic if your own life is in a turmoil. The one other thing that I want to mention that is on page 122 and 123 is the roles of the caregiver. Remember, we are change agents. We also function as socializing agents. We do group activities. We are teachers. Always be alert for opportunities to teach. We are technicians. The holistic care, remember Maslow's. We always have to meet their physiological needs first. And then we are also therapists. Every interaction is seen as a learning opportunity. Environmental problems. Can we have issues with our environmental problems? We want to minimize our environmental problems. We want to keep our interruptions to a minimum because it could be lack of privacy, an inappropriate meeting place, might be related to uncomfortable furniture, could be related to lighting, temperature, noise, and frequent interruptions. Because remember, being interrupted stops the communication flow between the caregiver and the client and does little to foster the relationship. And another thing that can problem that can arise in therapeutic relationships is problems with the care providers. Barriers related to the care providers and the therapeutic relationship can be difficulty with attitude, setting of helping boundaries, and counter transference. And transference is a client's emotional response. So, sometimes to prevent or cope with transference, first we have to listen and hear what the client's trying to tell us. And then we have to recognize areas of resistance and clarify that with the clients. We also have, with time and experience, we become more adept at working with unique behaviors. And then non-compliance. Non-compliance with the clients, can be a big, one of the main reasons. It may be their lack of knowledge or medication side effects and the caregiver-client relationship, and so we do have to remember a lot of problems come from, especially in that therapeutic relationship, come from a client being non-compliant. Because think about it, sometimes clients will stop taking their medications because of the side effects, or they will stop taking them because they feel so much better that they really don't need them anymore. That's what they're thinking. They're not thinking of the process of they're taking their medications. Their medications are what's making them feel better. To them, they're just feeling better, so they don't need to take their medications.